All right, all right, all right. What is going on? Hello, hello, hello. It's Pelon. Make some light in here real quick. All right. Preseason rankings. I'm just gonna hop right into it because I got a newborn and don't know when I'm gonna be kicked out of here. Aries to God. Thank you for the follow. I don't know why I don't have a notification up. I'll get that up. But we're gonna hop right into it. The Gucci 24 rankings are here. The preseason rankings. We are. I put you all in rankings. What I think, how you did last year versus your style of play, and how I think you possibly will do this year with your new team. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I did want to start off. We did let two people be captains. They picked people on their side of the conference, and they did. I think they did a good job of selecting teams, selecting sides. Remember, the AFC versus the NFC, which we'll get into during the season. Our next podcast, maybe I'll predict division winners and predict which conferences will be better and what I think. We'll do that next, but for now, this thing moved over very badly. Sorry, aesthetics. Okay, but yeah, for what I'm going to do now is just what I think you're going to do individually. So this video will save. I'm going to start off with 32 and 31. I'm going with the Eagles. That's Matt and Benjamin at 31. Those were the two captains. They probably had the worst 4 seasons out of everybody last year. So starting off, I feel like this is a spot for them, but I do think both could grow. I think both. Well, Matt was a passer, so I think I put Matt behind Benjamin just because of that. But Benjamin's more of a runner, and I feel like the run game is stronger on here. So you're 32 and 31. We're your two captains, but we did pick two guys who struggled but played every single game. So I hope that they do have a better. My dog's moving around. Sorry, I don't want to scratch up the bed. I hope they do have a better season. We gave them better teams this year, so hopefully they get off to a better start than what they did. But for the first preseason power rankings, Eagles and Bengals. 30, Washington Commanders. He did make the playoffs year 1 with the Browns and Gucci, and then after that, I don't think he had more than a 5-win season. So, we had some turnover in that division last year. We had a new Steelers user, we had a new Bengals user, 2 new Bengals users, and we had two new Ravens users, which one ended up winning the Super Bowl. But beforehand, I don't think his division was very tough, and now he had some tough competition. I think that he did struggle with that competition. So Commanders, that's Luke Roberts. At 29, Chicago Bears. I believe this is Kawan Cope. Let me make sure before I speak on him. Kawan Cope. Yeah, Kawan Cope was with us at the beginning of Gucci last year and just quit playing, and he was like 5-9 or something like that, somewhere around in there. I don't see a big turnaround here for Kawan Cope and the Bears, but this is a very friendly a mobile quarterback. I feel like can exceed in this, and he's got probably the fastest, if not one. I mean, Lamar too, but maybe he can do something with that, or maybe he wanted to stick around. We'll see. I haven't heard much from him other than he asked when the league was starting again. So next we have the San Francisco 49ers. This is Tweedy Reagan Rainey. He is new to Gucci-ish. He's played before. He's in the group of friends with Coach Wells, and I hang out in there, and I know him through that. I've played him in Madden. I think this is a fitting spot for him, but he does have a squad that can make some noise. So if he just keeps building them right, maybe he can get some wins out of this squad. 27, we have the Chargers. This is Bobby. I've heard Bobby was pretty good in the past, but he said it was a PS4 user. Bobby is I think he can play pretty well. He just hasn't shown it in Gucci. He does have a quarterback that just resigned, so he doesn't have to build much with that quarterback. so he's going to have a solid staple there. So I'm eager to see what Bobby can do with the Chargers, but for right now I have him at 27 coming into the season. And again, I'm going to try to update these since I'm not playing anymore. I'm going to try to keep the Gucci Insider every 2 weeks. So that will give you top 10s and on the bubbles. And then at the end of the season, maybe do a preseason ranking for the following season. So Cleveland Browns, this is Mike Wells in the Browns. Mike, I think, won about as many games as the bottom two right here. The only difference why I put him at the top is because he's got Chubb. Last year he had Keenan Ngwagu, I think is how you say it. And then before that, he was the Patriots. So he had like a Ramondre Stevenson. He didn't have a running game. Now he's got a running game in a league or in a video game that is a very run heavy. I feel like I've only played against computer, so I don't want to speak on mine much. But me and the computer, I feel like average at least 4 or 5 yards a gain, and 4 or 5 yards a run, and he's okay with that. He will do that, and he will go 4 to 5 yards down the field and leave you no time on the clock. So I feel like he can sneak some wins out like that. Defensive wise, he's got a weird strategy that I like more than the other two. So if that, I don't know how that's going to work on this Madden, but he's also got Myles Garrett on the other side. So I did rank him low for how well I think he might do, but with how he struggled last Madden, that's where I got him at right now. 25 is the Atlanta Falcons. I am no longer the Atlanta Falcons. This is Danny Townsend. He is also in that friend group. I haven't seen Danny play Madden League in 2 years, but what I remember of him playing in the Madden League, he is pretty patient in the pocket, but now he's got a mobile quarterback, so I don't know how it's going to fare out for him. This is one of the people, I don't know where he would land in the top 32 of this league until I see him play. From what I remember, he shut me out one time in the Coach Wells Madden League in a regular season game at 28-0. So he definitely has some skill. It's just he's been off for a little bit. So don't really know where he is going to land. So I dropped him down here just because of his time off. 24 Buffalo Bills. This is Jermaine J. Nichols. I don't think that he's better than some of these people on here, but he did play well when he played until that last season, and the last season was not very good. Right when I ranked him like 17 and people got pissed, he didn't play well. So I did drop him in the rankings for the preseason, but he does have Josh Allen, and from what I'm seeing in his games right now, he's playing pretty well. So this could be a 24. This could be a sneaky move up into the top 15 if he plays like he's been playing online with these Bills team. 23, we have the Detroit Lions. This is Dre Thomas. This is the dude that got Trace kind of kicked out when Trace went nuts for him being in the league. And then he came in and he made the playoffs, and I believe he lost in the first round to Alex, who won the Super Bowl. So I feel like Dre can make a little bit of noise, but he did have Lamar that last, and he did use Lamar more than, in a different way than what I'm going to think that he can use Jared Goff. I don't think he ran as much, but he did get out of trouble with him. I'm eager to see what he does too, but I don't think he's going to be a consistent playoff team. But his division, Bears, Packers, the Vikings, I don't know much about Henry other than what I've heard through word of mouth. But he has a shot with this division to compete in it, because I don't think anyone in this division is too strong. So I put him down at 23. 22 is the Dallas Cowboys. This is Cecil. Cecil, this might be a little low for Cecil, but I feel like our competitions is kind of he's just right in that middle of the pack competition, and better than the worst, but not better than the middle. I think that in his division with the Commanders, the Cowboys, so here's the Cowboys, Commanders, Eagles, And Giants, if Jeff doesn't play, Cecil has a shot of winning that division because the guy that's coming in for Jeff is I don't think he's going to be consistent enough to win. He also hasn't played a lot. So, but if Jeff does play, there's no shot he's winning the division, and maybe no shot of making the playoffs. I'll have to go through a little playoff kind of preview, maybe mid-season or something. But I don't see him. I don't see him going past a wild card round in the NFC. Green Bay Packers. This is Frank. Frank's gonna be a little mad about this. I did have Frank higher, and then I watched him play the preseason game, the preseason tournament game against Horatio, who had the Chargers, but he played out of the I formation with the Chargers and ran stretch left, stretch right. And I feel like if someone runs stretch left, stretch right through a whole game, you could figure out how to stop it. And Frank just got demolished by it. So I did drop him a little more. But Frank also, if he is taking care of the ball, Frank's defense is good enough to win him a couple of games. I think that he can win his division. It's gonna be between him and Henry. But I don't know enough about Henry either from what they both say they beat each other at. But I've heard more about Henry through other people. I got Frank down at 21. 20, Arizona Cardinals. This is Trevor Ramsey. He took a year off, I'd say, but Trevor Ramsey is a solid user. But the Cardinals are so limited now, losing Isaiah Simmons and losing trade bait or keeping him at 90-something speed at a linebacker position. That hurts. So I have him lower because of his team. I think as we get further, I think that Ram can compete with the Rams. I think he can compete with the Seahawks to make a playoff push. Which I think right in front of him, not the Saints. But the Seahawks I know are coming up too. But the Saints is Bryson. I just don't think he gives a shit, but I think he's really good. He was excited. I'm going to bring him on the admin team as well. He was the creator of Gucci. I'm going to bring him on the admin team to kind of help out a little bit, have some say back into what he created. But maybe that'll give him a little more motivation. He wasn't too excited about the Saints. I would be excited with the Saints. Their schedule is nice this year. You have Derek Carr, who he could play with Derek Carr for a year and maybe make a playoff in that push. His division's not crazy strong either. Here's Dylan and the Seahawks. I don't know if Dylan's playing yet. Dylan said to replace him, but then I asked if you want to replace him. He said no, keep him. Dylan, I have him at 18. Dylan, if Dylan took some time to run the ball, Dylan would win more games. Dylan just wants to air it out. Hopefully he finds a little bit of a run game and cares a little bit, but I know Dylan's kind of wiped out of Madden right now. I was thinking about moving Dylan down just a little bit just because he doesn't care enough, but I want to see Dylan make a playoff push with these Seahawks and see what he can do this year with the Seahawks. And I think he has the best team in that division per user to make the playoffs. I don't think the 49ers user is strong enough, but they have the best team. But I think Dylan has the best team and is strong enough to win his division. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is, I don't know much about Anthony Robinson. I do think that he did play really well that year for the Giants, but we simmed, and I think he missed the playoffs due to the sim. I remember playing him. I think I beat him by 2 scores, but it was a 1-score game most of the time, just back and forth. But I'm kind of eager to see. His problem is he's got a lot of old and no quarterback, so I don't know how that's going to go. I think this division is going to be between the Saints and Panthers, but I think user-wise, Buccaneers is going to put himself in the division. Vikings, this is Henry. From what I hear, Henry is solid enough to make the playoffs consistently. He's got a better team to do so. I like the Vikings receiving core on here, and then he's got Madison who can pound the ball. I don't know his play style enough, but from what I hear, Henry was Henry should be about this position. Henry should make the playoffs and NFC win in his division. But only time will tell because this is a whole new Madden. Next we have Pittsburgh Steelers. This is Aries. Aries likes to lead you that he is not very good, even though it's Sim, even though it's no abilities, and Aries threatened to leave and make me sad and all that. I think Aries can do some damage with the Steelers. His division is a little bit tougher, but I mean the Bengals someone can beat you with the Bengals by just spam throwing to Chase and Higgins all day, so that's kind of tough. The Browns, he could get beat by Mike if Mike just sits there and chews clock and runs the ball, and he can't seem to stop it. And then you got the Ravens user who I think I have about in this row right here coming up, who plays really well with Lamar from my understanding and from what I've seen so far. I like Aries. I think Aries his defense can stop the run. I think that with his two edges with T.J. Watt and was it Highsmith? I think it's his last name's Highsmith. I think that that right there can help stop the run. I don't know enough about him offensively, but I know he did go 4-1 with no quarterback, no receivers. I think that Waddle was gone. I think all he had was Hill, if I'm not mistaken, on that team with no. So he did play pretty well for not having much of a team last year. This is the Rams. This is Hefe. Hefe made the playoffs. 3 years in the last year, and he joined after year 1, so he made the playoffs the next 3 years with the 49ers. And the 49ers user, and he came in about mid-second season, the 49ers user completely tore apart that 49ers team, and Hefe made some good trades. I know he traded me Debo, and some of y'all didn't like it, but he got Jahmyr Gibbs. He got a rookie middle linebacker with I gave him a rookie linebacker with 89 speed. That was one of the top 10 in tackles. And he got a first-round pick the next year, which we didn't end up finishing the year. But he made some good trades to help his team out. So I think the Rams are going to hurt him, but I think he could be a top 10 user by the time he builds his team. So he's only 14 because of the team he's got, but I think that he can build those Rams to a playoff caliber team, and it's probably going to be with trading Donald. Next up, we got the Carolina Panthers. This is Everett. Everett made the play. He was the Chiefs, but made the playoffs. I know he waxed me one year in the playoffs, and it came down to Alex scored twice in garbage time, but he came down. I think it was at the 2-minute warning in a 3-point game with Alex, and then Alex scored, got an interception, and scored. But if he plays patient football, smart football, and Everett, I think can win this division. Bryson's a tough play. Henry, Anthony Robinson's a tough play. I think these three can battle it out, but I think in the end it's going to be Everett making the playoffs. Next up, we have the Tennessee Titans. This is Anthony Trella. I was back and forth on this. Anthony Trella likes to pound the ball too a little bit, but I think when he gets to passing, he gets 2-1. He focuses on one target. So it just depends on how Hopkins can get open. I might have put him a little too high now that I'm looking at it. But if I would change it, I would probably just move it from 15 up 1 and then put him at 15. So not too far off. But nonetheless, a solid user. I think that he can battle in his division. Colts, Jaguar. It's going to be tough. He might have to be a wild card looking in type of player. But he did make the playoffs all 4 years last year. So I gave him a little bit of credit for that, but he did. Honestly, you know what? He did build a really good team last year. I think I like him around here. Last year he had Jay Jettas, but he ended up getting Jay Jettas, Jalen Waddle, Nick Chubb, and his quarterback. was Trey Lance, I want to say. So maybe he can build another team here in Tennessee. And I know he's playoff caliber. So 11's the Baltimore Ravens. This is Will. Will made the playoffs 3 out of 4 years, I believe, maybe 4 out of 4 years. The first year I don't think he made it, but he came in late. Will plays some smart football. He plays it short. The first time I played Will, he took me to a 3-point game, and it was his first game into the league, and he had the first time playing with the Falcons team that he had. Then he built a pretty nice Falcons team with Christian McCaffrey on it, and had a lot of money for free agency the year that we thought we were going to make it, and spent some money. So Will, I think, could do some good, and apparently he's pretty good with Lamar Jackson, so from what I'm hearing too. So I put Will at 11. Will, the only thing that's tough with Will is, can he stop Coach's run game, and how good Aries plays with the Steelers. I think the division ultimately is going to come down to Steelers versus Ravens, which would be just a classic NFC North. Whew, getting long-winded. Number 10, Las Vegas Raiders. This is Deshaun Howard. I think Deshaun Howard's a better user than what I have him at, but I think the Raiders brings him down a little bit. He is going to have Josh Jacobs, which is nice, but he's not going to have much of a quarterback. I mean, depending on how well he plays with Jimmy G. Has Devontae Adams, so that could be helpful. And but that defense is atrocious. If Max Crosby can get off the edge pretty well, that might help him. But I think coming into this season, he definitely isn't going to win his division. That's going to be the Chiefs. I did just see him whip Oso in that tournament, so it makes me want to put him up a little higher, but he was using a much better squad with the Seahawks. So I have him 10 mostly because of his team. 9 is Indianapolis Colts. This is Raylan. His last year, he made the NFC Championship. He kind of came on strong towards the end. He is a playoff user. Colts, I don't think he's going to end up beating the Jags in the playoff run, but I think that he can be one of those outside looking in. I think the Raiders and Titans and him are going to be 3 teams that are fighting for the last 2 wildcard spots. I put him here because Anthony Richardson is a beast on the game. It just depends on how smart he uses Anthony Richardson. He's still going to have Jonathan Taylor, unless I don't think he's going to be able to get traded before the season. So he's going to get to have Jonathan Taylor on his team. So hopefully he uses them right and makes a tough competition there. Denver Broncos. Let me make sure I got the right user. Fred. This is Fred. Fred is a consistent playoff team. Fred and I don't think he's going to end up beating Steven in the division either, which Steven's is the Chiefs. But him and D, I forgot about Fred here at the Broncos. That's going to be another wild card. So this team, so I wonder if I can highlight. I'm not going to worry about it. The Broncos, the Colts, the Raiders, and the Ravens Steelers matchups, those are going to, and the Titans, that's going to be tough for the last wild card spot. Whoever doesn't get out of the Ravens Pittsburgh. I think the Ravens Pittsburgh is going to have to be who wins the division, and the playoff is going to come down to Titans, the 2 wild card, to 8, 9, 10, and 12. But we got a lot of AFC teams stacked right here. Going to number 7, another AFC team, the Miami Dolphins. This is Squawg Thompson. Squawg, as a user, I think is about the 13, 14, 15, Tyler. But with the Dolphins, with the speed, the OP of that, he's got speed at running backs, 2 receivers at 97 plus speed. I think the Squawg can... I think he's going to make the playoffs. I think he might be able to compete in the division against a user that is still up here in the top 6. But we'll see. It's all going to be about the speed and if you can contain the speed. This is the New England Patriots, number 6. This is Clyde. So this is going to be another. So right here, we're still in the AFC. Let me see if I can do this real quick. We're still here in the AFC. I'm going to try to highlight. Maybe not. What is going on? Oh, it's over there. If I look at this right here, maybe it's this one. Nope. It's this one. Okay. So I'm highlighting all these teams right here because this is all going to be a wild card race right here. This is all going to be for the last playoff spot right here for the AFC. And I think it's going to be tight. One, two, maybe this one. No, I think it's this one right here. Okay. If you look at this right, oh no. If you look at this one right here, you're gonna have the winner of the Patriots-Dolphins division. The loser is gonna be fighting for the playoffs in the wild card. The Broncos and Raiders are gonna be fighting for the wild card. The Colts are gonna be and Titans are gonna be fighting for the wild card. Because I don't think they can beat the Jags. And then the loser of the Ravens Steelers. That's a lot of teams fighting for the wild card spot. Because you're gonna have two of these teams gonna be division winners. So let's do. Let me do this right here. If I take the Patriots, let me move this over here so I can see it. If I do this, if the Patriots are division winner. If the Patriots are division winner, and let's say that the Ravens are division winner. If these two, let's say these two win the division, all these teams right here are going to be fighting for a wild card spot. That wild card spot's going to be packed tight there for the AFC. I think that going back to Clyde, I think that he's definitely one of our strongest users, but the reason why I put him down to 6 is because he has no, the Patriots are just bad. So I think that he's going to win a lot of games, but I think he might lose a couple, which put him in that tough spot with Miami, just because of how bad the Patriots might be the worst team situational wise, other than the Rams and Cardinals here. So hopefully Clyde does well, but this right here, this is all a wild card push right here. Jets, oh my gosh, look at this, another wild card team right here. The Jets. This is going to be another push for the wild card if New England wins it, or if the Jets win it, or if the Dolphins win it. These all right here, a wild card push is insane. But the Jets, Sterling is a solid user. Sterling came in and had the Bears team late after someone just kind of we had someone play with the Bears. He didn't really get much trades. Didn't do well in free agency. It's tough for him because he's on the West Coast as well. But Sterling can make some noise with the Jets. He's got a well-built team right now. So I think my favorite to win that division, AFC East, is going to be the Jets this first season. If Clyde can build, it's going to be a tough battle between these two, and the Dolphins just looking in on the outside. But this division right here, these three right here, 5, 6, 7, are insane. Who's the last one? Jets, Patriots, Dolphins. Jets, Patriots, Dolphins, Bills. Oh, I lost my Photoshop. 1 second, it's loading back up. So that's your, we're at top 6 right now. Please tell me that that's saved. It's saved, okay. Or 6 left. So top 5, here we go. Top 5 teams. I know this has been taking a minute, but we're to our top 5. Oh, sorry, that was 5. The Jets are 5. Maybe I can still highlight that. Maybe I can still highlight that green. so we can see that wild card push right there. Okay, next up, number 4. This is the Jacksonville Jaguars, who I think is going to win that Colts division. I think that he will win the Colts division. And that's why I think that the Colts and Titans are going to be looking for a wild card. If I had to take a team out of this race, it would be the Titans. I'll do playoff predictions. Before we start. But the Jaguars, another top 4 team. Not much to say about him other than he plays smart football, solid football. He's a tough play. I'm gonna say this is the year, one season I think he gets over the hump, and I think he wins the Super Bowl. Next we have the Kansas City Chiefs, and this is the user that I think is my favorite to win the Super Bowl year 1. He's got some speed at receivers, young receivers. He's got the best quarterback in the game. He's got Chris Jones, unless he gets traded before the season, which I don't see happening right now. And Steven's probably one of the best, not just Madden players, one of the best video gamers I've seen. Dude can get 20 plus kills in Call of Duty games. Can pick up baseball and whip somebody in baseball. And every time I play him, he's probably one of the toughest Madden plays that I've played. I think that he can win the Super Bowl year 1. I have him ranked 3rd because I think it would be dishonorable to take the 2 defending champion. Oh my gosh, Texans, Colts. The 2 Super Bowl defending champions. Alex with 2 Super Bowl champions. Jeff with a 17-0 Super Bowl champion one season. Made 2 Super Bowls, I believe. Made all 4 NFC championships, if I'm not mistaken. The only thing is I don't know if Jeff is playing because of his internet. I'm trying to look here because the Texans, Colts, Titans, Jaguars. That's right? Texans, Colts, Titans. Oh my gosh. So I could totally skipped out when I said for this right here to happen. That is another playoff team here. That is going to be tough. That is another playoff team here in this division that's going to be insane. All these green are going to be fighting for the last wild card spot. All these green right here are going to be fighting for the last wild. And it could be flip-flop. Like, I'm not saying Texans are for sure going to beat the Jaguars out in the division, but one of those 2 are going to win the division, and the other one's going to have a wild card spot. The Chiefs are going to win the division, and all these other, like, it's crazy how crazy tough the AFC is going to be this season. If it's my prediction right now, I'm going to say my division winners are in blue. No. My division winners are in blue. Now, and my playoff teams, I'll put in like dark green. I think that Clyde is going to be a playoff team. And I think it's going to end up being D. I think he's just too tough of an out. Is there 2 more playoff teams? Or am I tripping? Is there 8? Or 3 wildcard teams? There's 3 wildcard teams, right? Okay, the 3rd team. Oh, I'm totally forgetting the Jags. What am I doing? The 3rd team is the Jags. I think this is your playoffs for the AFC. But we're looking at a guy right here in the Miami Dolphins who's made the playoffs every year in the last year. A guy right here who always makes the playoffs that I've seen. Made the AFC Championship the last year. Made every NFC playoff over here. And I don't know much about, but what I'm seeing is a very good user. So it's gonna be tough. The AFC's really tough. So, but these are the rankings. I will do a playoff picture, a playoff review, a division winner. I will make that. Probably make it today. Go live sometime next week. Maybe go live next weekend. We are starting the season Saturday. We're starting